got a star on my car and one on my chest, a gun on my hip and the right to arrest. I'm the guy who's the boss on this highway, so watch out what you're doing when you're driving my way. If you break the law, you'll hear from me. I know I'm working for the state. I'm the highway patrol. Well, you know me when you see me, 'cause my door's painted white, with my siren screaming and my flashing red lights. I work all day and I work all night, just to keep in law and order, trying to do what's right. If I write you out a ticket, then you better drive slow. I'm just doing my job. I'm the highway patrol. I'm the highway patrol, the highway patrol. My hours are long and my pay is low, but I'll do my best to keep you driving slow. I'm just doing my job. I'm the highway patrol.
Hi, it's Gigi, and today I'm at the Ukiah CHP area office to interview Officer Marin. Hi.
Hello. Welcome. Welcome to our office.
Can I do the next part now? Thank you, Officer Marin, for helping us celebrate our Blue Day at Blosser Lane Elementary School.
Well, thank you for coming. It's my pleasure.
How did you guys find out about the emergency?
So we have a 911 caller come in. It comes into our dispatch center. We're going to about to go in and take a look. And basically, they all take the call, ask the individual what it is, what their emergency is, and they'll actually type everything out. So if it's something to do with fire, then they actually will go ahead and call. There's a fire department has their own dispatch, and they'll call them and say, hey, we have an issue with a fire or some kind of medical. If it has to do with anything to do with police, then they go ahead and type out information, and they'll call over the radio and send it to the officers that are out and about. So we're going to go ahead and walk in here. You can just kind of take a look at what it looks like. So we're going to have to be a little quiet when we walk in here. If they're not too busy, maybe we can get one of them to say hi and to basically maybe give a little info. All right, we can walk in here.
911 emergency, what are you reporting?
She's taking the information over there.
Okay, we have officers en route to assist them. What is your first and last name, please? I'm sorry, ma'am, hold on. Your phone broke. Tell me your name again. Okay, and your phone number, please.
That was cool.
95.
And so what you're seeing there is they're taking the information and they're going to go ahead and type it out and they'll send it to you. So they need to find out as far as when there's an emergency. If you ever have to call 911, then the first thing we need to know is your name and a phone number for you. So that way if the phone line was to get disconnected somehow, then we can call you back. And the second and third thing is to find out what the emergency is. At that point, we can send help. So whether, like I said again, if it's a medical, or there's a crash, or they need some type of assistance for any type of police assistance, then just let us know. So we'll go ahead and walk out to where the patrol vehicles are, and we can take a look at what one looks like.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was cool. Right as we walked in, she answered.
They don't have a call, then you just kind of sit there. That's basically what they do, is they're just sitting there waiting for a call. And then you saw that there's two, right? So
Yeah.
one is in training. The other one, it actually is, they consider one is they get the calls in and then they type it up and it goes to another one that's actually dispatching. So right now, if you're driving around and I had to run any information, you can see the gentleman on the left would be actually taking a lot of the info.
Oh,
And actually
okay.
putting it out.
Oh,
So you go ahead
Very
and
cool.
come out.
that's awesome.
This part right here.
Are these are
The bikes.
these are not cop bikes, are they?
Those are our training bikes right there. We actually have some nicer ones that are out in the shed. So we have officers that actually go to, like at the fairs or any big event.
Right, right.
Be on the bicycles. These are the ones we just need some training. As you can see, a lot of them have some dust on them.
Yeah. Good word there.
But
Yeah.
basically, at that point, they can go ahead and they train on those and the certain courses you got to take to and you gotta pass the test and all that. Get that.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna walk out here to where the white patrol vehicle is.
Hi, Gigi.
And this is basically our back lot. This is where all the patrol vehicles come. The individuals will park their cars and they check them out every day. As you can see, my vehicle.
This is a big lot.
Imagine that's how messy these cars are.
So these are one of our white cars here, as you can see. This is one of the newer ones. It looks really nice. So, do you have any questions you want to ask me?
What's the difference between you and a regular police officer?
So basically what you see in an area, you guys are from Willis, correct?
Yes.
So you have like in your area, Willis PD, so they work inside the city limits, and any kind of crime or things that happen outside the city limits, they'll be the sheriff department. As far as CHP, we handle anything and everything that's on the roadway, or any state property, we basically go out and handle those. So that's the difference. We're state police, and the other ones are city police, and then the sheriff department, they are pretty much you can say county police. That's the difference.
So that's nothing. Do you ever get scared on the job?
Yeah, at times, obviously, there are situations when you're going to a crash or multiple vehicles or situations where it's high risk. You can get a little bit of nerves in it, but it's just part of the job.
How do police become firefighters?
So most officers usually have a calling for it, something that we want to do to try to help other people out. And what we have to do is go to an academy, and ours is in Sacramento, and you go and train. And once you get done with your training, you come out and you'll work under another officer. And once you're fully trained, then you're out on your own.
What's the scariest experience that's ever happened to you?
For every situation kind of has its own little, how would I say, it can be scary in some sense depending on what it is. But, working when you're actually going and looking for someone that's wanted, obviously that could be a situation where it's a little bit more scary. Specifically if the individual that they're looking for may or may not be armed. And that's one of the things that obviously is going to get your adrenaline going and help you stress. So I would just say for us it varies depending on what it is. But for me, there's not one that specifically comes to mind.
What's what you're doing on your first day of work?
So I actually started out in Santa Rosa. So I went through the academy, got out and went to Santa Rosa and worked there for a few years. And for me, the first thing I did is just drove around for a few hours because I was excited that I actually got off the break-in. But after that, I just started doing stops, looking for people that were speeding. Anybody that would commit any type of violation, we would pull them over and they would get a ticket.
Okay. Do you ever get any prank calls or anything?
So as far as our dispatchers, they do get a lot of times where people will, they have the phone in their pocket and they accidentally dial 911. So we do get a lot of those calls. They do get the number that pops up and they're able to call the person back usually if they can't make a connection. But what they basically do is try to listen and to hear if there's something going on, if there's any type of argument or try to get anything from the individual. And sometimes you can just hear people regularly talking. And so at that point you realize obviously it's not an emergency.
Why do you drive a black, blue, and white car?
So our cars are all basically CHP will have a black and white and then a complete white car. We don't really have any other types of vehicles that we drive. All our vehicles will have the California Highway Patrol logo on it. But as you can see, and I'll show you back here, these white ones actually are more, how would I say, like you can see the other one has a highway patrol in the back, but this one doesn't have that.
It's very stealth.
Yeah, this is a little bit more stealth compared to the other ones. As you can see white, it doesn't really stand out. But these are the only two types of vehicles that we run. As far as the coloration, you can see that we have Tahoes, we have the Ford Explorers, and then also the Dodge Chargers.
Is beyond the way they're painted, is there any major difference between the two, or?
So on this one specifically, as you can see, and we'll walk up here, they have push bumpers, and this one actually doesn't. So this one is one that we see for areas where there's a lot of speed, people cheating, a lot of those type of I say, safety violation would be a vehicle that this one goes to. These other ones are just all around patrol vehicles. You can see the push bumpers. They have to push somebody off the side of the road. As you can see, even this one here has cameras on top, and those look at any type of license plates out there that possibly are stolen vehicles, and that basically will detect a stolen plate and will help us in recovering and giving back someone's stolen vehicle.
That's impressive.
Is it ever scary to catch a bad guy if he or she has a gun?
Well, like I said, anytime you get a situation where you have people that are armed, then yes, it's going to get serious.
Okay, and then the last one I have is, what does it look like inside of a squad? What does it look like inside of a squad car?
The patrol vehicle, well, are you going to be able to get that? Come on over. And we'll let you sit inside it. So this one I haven't locked, but I'll go ahead. Go ahead and see.
Cool. There's a little computer. This is awesome. How serious would an emergency have to be to get a helicopter to come out?
So there's different, so the fire department actually has like REACH or CalSTAR, and when there's a crash, the fire department's going to make that decision as far as the condition of the patient that they have, whether they're going to actually call for a helicopter, and obviously that's going to be the distance away from the nearest hospital and obviously the condition of the patient. CHP actually has helicopters. Every division, we're broken up into 8 different divisions, and each division has airplanes and helicopters. Ours fly out of Reading, and basically if we need somebody, like if there's a pursuit, we can ask for air assistance, and if there's a helicopter in our area, they'll actually fly over and help us out.
So they come all the way from Reading. Oh wow, I thought they were stationed here.
So you guys never really control if the helicopters go out, so it's the fire department.
So they're like their own little entity, and they fly around in different areas. And if we need it, so like you think about like a car driving from Reading, it takes a lot of hours, right? For a helicopter, they just go over the hill, and it just takes them like 20 minutes or less, right? So it doesn't take them that long to actually get here from another area. So a lot of things for them, obviously, it's going to be the weather, if it's cloudy, or the visibility, if they can come or not. So for us, if we need it, then we basically request any air support, and if they're available, they'll obviously respond to it. We also have a Golden Gate, which is actually here in Napa, and if they're too far away, we can also request the helicopter from that area from there as well.
So if you're on a car chase, like we've seen on different
TV shows?
TV shows where you're in a car chase and you see the helicopter flying, you get to a certain point, that's when you would call in the helicopter to come?
So you'd be out, and it just depends on the safety factor. If you're going somewhere and this person is driving really erratically and they're endangering other people, and it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to catch up to them or even stop them, it's obviously not willing to stop,
right,
then that's where you would ask for the assistance of their helicopter. And they, from their top, they can basically follow the car, and then the cars on the bottom can stop pursuing, and hopefully they can find where the car's going and eventually apprehend the person for whatever crime they committed and bring him in.
Have you ever been in a car chase, and how long does it last?
I've been in a few here in Ukiah, a couple, and in Santa Rosa, a couple. It just depends on how long the individual goes for. If you see on TV where they go out and do a pit maneuver where they hit the back of the car to get it to spin out, a lot of times those are what causes the vehicle to come to a stop. Other times, sometimes people just say, hey, I'm done, and they just give up. Or sometimes they actually crash, and that's where we come across apprehending them. But it varies. Some of them can be anywhere from a few minutes, and then they give up, and some can be, like I said, half hour, an hour. It just depends on the situation. It's kind of hard to give you specific, but they all vary. So it's not one of those things that we like to get into.
Have you ever gotten severely, very badly injured while doing your job?
No, I have not.
That's good.
Thankfully. One question, and I don't know if you can answer this, I forgot to write it down on hers. Aside from what's in a cop car, what gear do you guys wear? Is that something you can explain, or? So
we have, as far as what you can see, we'll have our magazines to our pistol. We have a taser, pretty much, everybody knows it. Our radio, so we definitely need this to be able to communicate back and forth. And then on this side, I actually have a pepper spray, and then I'll actually carry 2 sets of handcuffs. And that's our personal. Then we obviously have our vest that we wear underneath our regular uniform. We usually carry a knife In this case, there's people that are in car crashes. We got to try to get them out of the
Right.
seatbelt or different situations where that might arise that we can use that.
Here's a good question for you. How hot is it right now
I was gonna ask
with
the
the vest on
Yeah.
and
You know,
in
it's
the
not
summer?
too bad for me. I can kind of handle a bit more hot, but during like when it's 100 degrees outside, it can be fairly hot in the uniform. And as you can see, this is our utility uniform. We actually normally wear a tan one. And one of the officers here had it earlier, and he's not here right now. I'll show you what it looks like. But right now, due to COVID and all that, we basically are wearing these. These are washable. The other ones we have are wool, and you basically have to have it dry clean. And since a lot of these businesses had shut down for a long time, it was hard to get that done. So we went to just using our utility uniform.
they look like nylon, I'm assuming?
These are just like regular. I mean, I don't know specifically the fabric that is used in it. But as you can see, also being darker fabric, it takes a lot more of the heat.
Right.
But yeah.
Oof.
Has there ever been like a case where you've had to use your taser or your pistol?
As far as the taser, I have deployed it on an individual. It didn't actually strike him at the time that we were going after him. But as far as the pistol, I've never had to shoot at anybody, thank God. But in situations, that's why we have it, just for our protection and protection of other people.
Thank you, Officer Marin, for everything today. It was a pleasure meeting you and interviewing you.
Thank you for coming in. This is somewhere in Southern California, but this is actually one of the officers here in Ukiah as well. So we actually have patrol officers on patrol bikes, and so you can see that they were having one of the events at the Pond Grove.
Yeah.
And it was the kids triathlon, and so this kid was having a problem with his bicycle, so he got off.
Boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do?